Thank you, Rebecca. Am I on? Thanks, Rebecca. Appreciate the opportunity. I'd like to spend about 45 minutes with you discussing the residential market in particular. You have heard, of course, there's a group that has already gone out on the shuttles to visit a couple LEED for Homes locations here in Chattanooga. Many of you have probably heard of the LEED certification program. It's primarily been a commercial program for over a decade, and they've recently launched a residential side of that certification. So companies and groups and nonprofits like Habitat for Humanity are now embracing that green certification program. I wanted to start, though, with sort of a background on what drives some of us. Many of us are here because we think green is cool. It's a new economy. Green-collar jobs are on the way. A lot of us, though, have several years that we've spent looking at some of the different causes of some of the environmental problems we're facing. And I just wanted to touch upon some of these macro, global, international issues. My background is I have a graduate degree from Sweden in international sustainable development. And so, I've spent about 5 years working in Europe and looking at these macro issues. Again, those issues such as, rapid population growth, some of the problems we're going to have. And again, these energy issues that we're facing, these challenges here in the local markets here in the United States with increased energy costs. And so that's really what drives me to try to figure out how to solve some of the problems we're facing in our residential market, because as we're going to see here in the presentation, there are many ways that we can change the macro issues just in our own homes by addressing energy efficiency and the like. So again, these are a couple 3 points here on a big macro scale that we need to be looking at. Lighting, of course, is a big thing in commercial space. You can create great economies of scale and huge energy efficiency measures by decreasing the lighting loads and increasing the efficiency of lighting spaces, just like this Expo here. And then, of course, we have our appliances in our homes. You've heard of Energy Star appliances, dishwashers, washers, clothes washers, and the like. And that's a key certification program by the EPA for appliances. And then again, the thing that we're going to focus on here is actually the first bullet point, which is buildings. And we're not going to touch so much upon the commercial space, but we're going to concentrate on the residential home market. And that's something that all of us can make a difference in. So that's actually this category that has the most room for potential, meaning the potential of increased efficiency and the potential for that efficiency to decrease our energy demands and the corresponding carbon emissions and fossil fuel emissions and so forth. So that's really an area that's been underserved, and we can make great strides in improving that segment of our economy. This is the last sort of macro slide here before we jump into the home section. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that other countries around the world are looking at our economic system, and they're figuring out that this is not a sustainable system, that they do have to look at efficiencies. They can't allow their citizens to use as much energy as we use, go through as much materials as we use, and be as wasteful as we are. And that's something that the Chinese have figured out. And so, again, we need to take lessons from those that are looking at us as case studies and not become the guinea pigs that we seem to be becoming. And we need to make sure that we're reinventing ourselves and ensuring that we have a future in this international economy. Again, this is a slide that highlights a couple of the expected increases in energy consumption over the next couple decades and the corresponding emissions. And if you look to the top right, you'll see that improving that building insulation, improving the building envelope. Again, we're concentrating on buildings here, particularly homes. Improving the building envelope is a key increasing segment of energy consumption. Also, improving the lighting efficiency and improving the appliance efficiency are key categories that we need to address. So we're going to be concentrating on those top 3 areas. Of course, in our daily lives, we don't have much control over the industrial sector. And those sectors, other people and principals can be working on those. But we ourselves can address those top 3 there in the buildings that we live in, the homes that we live in, the lighting, and the appliances that we use. And then again, the challenge that we face is that we need to make these decisions in our own lives. There's a definition, it's not mine, I can't claim it, but sustainability is just sustained behavioral change. So if we all want to be green, we want to embrace this new green market, and a component, of course, going green is just being more sustainable in all aspects of sustainability. So again, the definition I want to leave you for sustainability is just sustained behavioral change. And that can take place without trading in your vehicle on a hybrid, although we're big fans of hybrids, and Volkswagen's very high efficiency clean diesels and BMW's clean diesels. But again, just sustained behavioral change can make a huge difference in our economy here and going green. And we need to make these decisions now. There's some young people in the audience, and I have a young son, and I don't want to be passing an economy, I don't want to be passing a society on to him and his children that isn't as fruitful and doesn't provide the type of opportunities that I have. And again, that's something that we need to be thinking about when we go about our daily lives. So about 3 years ago, I came back from working in Washington, D.C., and in Europe, and I decided, I'm from Nashville, from Tennessee, went to school here in Chattanooga for my undergraduate degree, and I decided to come back to Tennessee and start a company, again, a green company, try to fulfill this vision that we all have to create a new economy with green-collar jobs and the like. And I named it E3 Innovate. The E3 is, of course, stands for Energy, Efficiency, and Environment. And then the Innovate, again, just tries to highlight the fact that we do need to think outside the proverbial box. We do need to innovate. We need to figure out new ways to approach old problems and address the situations that we're in here economically. And so that's what we've tried to do. We have a presence in Middle Tennessee, and we also serve East Tennessee as well in providing some of these home efficiency consulting and improvements. And that's what we're going to jump into here. Existing homes. I want to go over a couple different things that you as homeowners can do to increase your energy efficiency and make a real difference in these macro issues like climate change and basic energy demands that TVA, for example, is having to deal with here in the Tennessee Valley. So the reason why our homes are so important is because few of us know that our homes are actually the largest energy consumer by segment of our economy, and they actually therefore emit the most carbon emissions. We all concentrate on transportation. The transportation sector is huge. We all worry about the vehicles that we're driving, which is very significant, but our homes are extremely inefficient, and they therefore, of course, use a lot of energy and emit a lot of carbon emissions, and that not necessarily from the home, but from the power plants that have to create the energy that we use in our homes. So again, we do need to place some focus on our residential market, and that's what we do here at E3 Innovate. And again, another fact that few people understand here in the Tennessee Valley is that a lot of our energy, again, that's used in our homes, for example, is actually produced from dirty coal. And a lot of us think that TVA produces a lot of its energy from hydroelectric, and that's actually a very minor component. It might have been the case several decades ago after the New Deal, but currently most of our energy consumption in the Tennessee Valley is met by burning coal. And so again, what we can do in our homes to decrease our energy consumption will dramatically decrease the amount of coal we have to burn and the corresponding emissions that emits. And of course, the other component that drives us is just simple economics. Our electricity rates have increased. Last October, TVA increased rates, and then the corresponding distributors in this market in Nashville raised rates as well. And then, of course, they have demand charges that have also increased. So there's a definite economic reason why we should be conscious of our energy consumption in our home environments. Rates have gone up about 20% since last October, and that's very significant. Over the winter, this past winter, I'm sure it was the same here in Chattanooga, it was pretty harsh. And we didn't get a lot of snow, of course, but it was unusually cold. And we had a lot of calls, and unfortunately a lot of people who didn't have the means to have us come into their homes and fix the problems and the leakage and improve their comfort because they unfortunately were on fixed incomes and didn't have much money at all. We did what we could do. But that's the role that some of the municipalities and the cities need to play because unfortunately those with the least amount of resources often get hammered when it comes to increased energy costs because that's a larger component of their monthly budget. So again, just to highlight the fact that our electricity rates are going up and we have a certain economic argument that we need to be mindful of as well.